like I never knew anybody it happened to, and then like all of a sudden I knew so many people.
Folks are stealing cars in broad daylight. I've witnessed stolen cars, presumably stolen vehicles being driven down the street.
Both citizens and law enforcement say stolen cars is a crime epidemic that's out of control.
But some places in Kansas City carry a bigger risk than others when you park there. They're called hotspots. And Fox 4 has spent weeks investigating where they are, but also why they're so hot. Here's Fox 4's Malik Jackson.
Right now in 2024 in Kansas City, Missouri, on average, more than 654 cars are stolen every month. And so we poured over the numbers for weeks. Data from KCPD to show you where this devastating crime happens over and over again. They are car theft hotspots, and where they are may surprise you.
Like pieces of the lock all over the parking spot. So I was like, this is definitely where the car was.
She parked at a mall and went in to shop, but when Amina El Said came out, she realized.
Like, oh my God, it was stolen.
And it's a phrase that we've heard over and over again in what seems to be an epidemic of car thefts covering our region that just keeps getting stronger. Take a look. In 2021, crooks stole more than 4,300 cars in Kansas City, Missouri. The next year, more than 6,500 were stolen. And by 2023, that year, more than 7,500 vehicles gone.
I've lived in Kansas City my whole life, and I don't want to be afraid.
Working for you, Fox 4 took thousands and thousands of stolen car reports made to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department and analyzed them to tell you about some of the hottest spots for car theft.
There's always going to be cars stolen.
With the help of our security expert, Mike Barberi. First up, Midtown at 35th and Broadway, with 49 cars stolen between 2023 and late 2024.
This area here it's businesses. People are parking their car. They're going inside to go to work. They may not come out until lunchtime, so that gives a 4-hour break there for people to go ahead and steal the cars.
Also helping thieves, Barberi points out some above-ground residential parking.
They're easily accessible vehicles.
But one local we bumped into is worried. 4th District Councilman Eric Bunch.
It's unfortunate that we know that this has had a huge economic impact for Kansas City, and it's definitely a problem.
Next, we're off to the hot spot at 15th and Main Street in downtown.
Guess what you have here?
Stolen 49 cars.
You have the interstates. Easy access to all the interstates. 35, right?
And how much of a factor does that play into all of this, having the interstate right here?
Well, I mean, it plays in about 100%. Because if I'm going to steal a car right here, right, I'm going to make a right turn, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to make another left turn, and then I'm going to get on the interstate and I'm going to be gone.
And in an area that tourists visit, Mike notices valet parking lots with no one around.
There should be somebody here watching to make sure nobody takes the car.
A few other spots you might want to know about. 3 spots on our list: 27th and McGee Traffic Way, just south of Crown Center, where 43 cars were stolen. Less than a mile away in Midtown is this stretch of Main Street between 31st and Linwood, with 41 cars taken in our time period. And you don't have to be in Midtown Kansas City to be in a hot spot. A little farther out, like this suburban street in South Kansas City at 93rd and Bells, 38 cars have been stolen. Or this spot in the Northland near 78th and Roan Ridge Road, with 37 vehicles taken, all in more than a year and a half. And south of the city is Eastmeyer Boulevard in Prospect, where 60 cars were stolen from 2023 until October of 2024. And nearby is the Research Medical Center that has a large parking lot filled with high-end vehicles, which is an obvious indication of where a thief wants to be, is where there's a lot of what they want to steal. And if you look over there, there's a ton of vehicles.
A ton of vehicles.
It's like Thanksgiving dinner for someone who loves to eat.
And probably some of them are even unlocked.
And finally, we start at the beginning, at the mall near Ward Parkway in 86th, where Amina El Said lost her car to thieves, and our hottest hotspot with 63 cars stolen from 2023 to September of 2024, something that didn't surprise our expert.
I'm looking at the tops of the poles where the cameras would normally be, and I don't see any. I don't see any at all.
Does that shock you?
Yes.
Barberi says just seeing the cameras is a deterrent to thieves.
I'd be very concerned, especially if I'm parking my car here and working here.
Just ask this guy.
6 months later, you're still without a car.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't make it easy when the insurance companies don't particularly want to help.
An employee at one of the mall's clothing stores, he asked us to not show his face. He says it was his first day of work and he was running late and didn't lock his steering wheel.
And thought, well, it's the War Parkway Mall. I shouldn't have a problem with this. I was surprised to come out at lunchtime and find that my car wasn't there.
We asked the mall's management for comment on all of this and received this statement saying their top priority is the safety and security of their patrons and employees, who they encourage to remain alert and report suspicious activity. They also say that their security team monitors all areas vigilantly. And what about the external cameras that Mike Barberi couldn't seem to find? The mall told us that they don't have any, saying, quote, they don't really serve as a deterrent and do not help resolve the situation. What is your response to that?
If we have video footage that includes what an individual looks like or a vehicle they arrived and left in with a license plate, that gives our detectives a tremendous advantage in making an arrest.
And with a department bleeding resources, they can use all the help they can get.
We're down 300 officers. That's not an excuse. That's the reality. We have to find some innovative strategies.
And some of those strategies that Sergeant DiMartino was talking about is the very data we looked at, spotting where the crimes are happening and surging resources to those areas. For prevention tips, you can click on this story on fox4kc.com. And we also have a map so you can look at the hotspots yourself. And I can assure you with numbers the way that they are, Lauren and Kevin, this isn't the last time you will hear about this issue right here on Fox 4.
I got to go look at the prevention tips. Great information, Malik. Thank you.
Thank you, Malik. Malik Jackson working for you in studio tonight.